Hi, Jordan with Form Lighting. Today we'll be showing you how to install our LED headlights on this 2018 Toyota Tacoma. Let's get started. To begin our installation, we'll be removing the grille from the vehicle. To do this, we'll be grabbing our trim removal tool and removing 2 plastic clips from either side of the grille. Then we'll be grabbing our 10mm socket and removing these 2 bolts. Now we'll be disconnecting our wiring harness that's attached to our grille. To do this, we'll be pushing these 2 plastic push tabs through, and that should give us enough room to disconnect our harness. With that wiring harness disconnected, we can now remove the grille from the vehicle. Next, we'll need to remove this plastic cover, which is held on by 1 plastic clip. With that clip removed, we can now pull the cover away from the vehicle and rotate it out of place. Now, we'll need to remove these 6 plastic clips holding the bumper onto the front of the vehicle. There are 4 in front of the radiator and 1 under each headlamp. Coming over to the side of the vehicle, we're going to remove 1 10mm bolt and 1 plastic clip. With those removed, we can now start to loosen this trim piece. Now the easiest way to do this is with your left hand, grab it and pull outward to create tension, and then with your right hand, reach inside the vehicle behind the bumper in order to compress the 2 tabs holding it to the bumper. With this trim piece out of our way, we can go ahead and start to loosen the bumper. The best way to do this is first take your trim tool and pop this tab over the bumper, and then we can carefully pull outward on the bumper until it starts to separate from the vehicle. With the bumper partially separated from the vehicle, we can now remove this 10mm bolt. Next, we can remove these 2 10mm bolts on top of the lamp. Now we can go ahead and remove the headlight from the vehicle. All we need to do is pop these 2 tabs, grab the headlight firmly, and shift it towards the center of the vehicle in order to clear this tab right here. With our headlamp separated from the vehicle, we can go ahead and disconnect all our harnesses. Now we can grab a Phillips head screwdriver. We'll be using this to remove this trim piece in order to transfer it over to our Form LED headlight. If your Tacoma came equipped with halogen headlights, you'll need to use the provided adapter. All you need to do is take these 2 connectors and connect them to the corresponding ones on the back of the headlight. Now we can go ahead and connect our wiring for our Form LED headlamp. We'll start with the gray connector coming from the truck. We'll take this and plug it into the corresponding connector on the headlamp. Now we'll look for the smallest gray connector coming from the truck. We'll take that one and plug it into the side marker on the headlamp. Next, we'll take the yellow connector coming from the truck and plug it into our high beam connector coming from the lamp. Now we'll take our green harness and plug it into our low beam. With our wiring all connected, we can go ahead and slide our Form LED headlamp into place, making sure that all 3 of our mounting points are aligned. With our headlamp set in place, we can go ahead and test for functionality. Now that we've verified that our headlamp is working properly, we can go ahead and secure it down by reinstalling the two 10mm bolts on the top of the lamp. Next, we can go ahead and reinstall the 10mm bolt on the side of the lamp. With our passenger side lamp securely fastened down, we can go ahead and repeat the same process to install our other lamp on the driver's side. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and reinstall your bumper and grille by reversing the same steps we used to take it apart. With both headlights installed, our last step is to connect our included Fuse harness to both lamps for our white running light. If you prefer your C-light activates only when you switch on your main beams, you don't need to install this harness. Just note that you will not have an independent white running light. We'll go ahead and disconnect the brown wire from the rear of both headlamps and then plug in the connectors on the Fuse harness. Now we'll come over to the fuse box and remove the cover. Inside our fuse box, we'll find a fuse puller included from the factory. We'll be using that to remove this 15-amp fuse. Now we can take our Fuse harness and connect it in place of the 15-amp fuse that we just removed. When you're done with that, you can go ahead and replace the cover on your fuse box and secure any excess wiring up and out of the way from any hot or moving parts. As you can see, with little effort, your Tacoma will now have a new, modern LED upgrade that'll help you stand out, with triple dual beam projectors, a clean white DRL, sequential turn signals, and a more aggressive blacked out appearance. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss out on any new products. And if you want to stay up to date with the latest on anything Form, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok by searching Form Lighting. You can pick up a set of new lights for your vehicle today at formlights.com or by using our dealer map to find a Form Lighting dealer near you. Thanks for watching.